Welcome back to the hole, and this time we're going to explore the second type of side mission. We can just walk up to Melvin and ask him for a job. These side missions appear on a list and more unlock as the game progresses, so they're a lot easier to find than random side missions like that one with Tank and Scorpion. Unlike the random side missions, the on-the-grid side missions we can ask for from Melvin end in monetary gain all of the time instead of just sometimes. Doing missions from Melvin is the quickest way to get money. I should call them jobs, I suppose. He calls them jobs. Anyway, our job is to head to the station and meet up with a guy named Brad. No one said we can't beat up random slubs on the way, though. Anyway, like I was saying, our mission is to go to the train station and meet up with Brad. And Brad will ask us to ditch our friends because he wants this to be confidential. He wants us to go it alone with him. And the mission would be a lot easier if we didn't have to go it alone. But at the same time, there's a way to cheese it so it is way easier than it should be. And if you know me, again, you know I'm all about cheesing games like this, so we're going to take the cheesiest route possible. Now let's go to the train station for I think the first time. I think this is the first time we're actually entering the station zone, which feels surreal. Because the station zone is a very important hub in the game. I'm not going to say something crazy like most of the game takes place here, but if you're actually playing the game to enjoy it and not just to progress the story, then you're going to be spending a lot of time here. This asshole says he wants our kind out of Las Sombras, and well, that's a very agreeable statement. We're still going to beat the shit out of him. We would have beaten the shit out of him no matter what. I mean, it's understandable. He doesn't want people like Raven in his town. Who would? You know, that's normal.
What?
Man, this guy's complaining about the stairs. I agree, those stairs are a pain in the ass. Now let's kick his ass. Now you understand real pain. Think walking up and down stairs hurts? That's what hurts, bitch. Now Brad is right over here, and as soon as we talk to him, he's gonna ask us to ditch our friends, which is good, because we needed to do that anyway. Also, you get to see this hilarious dialogue when you remove someone from your party. They sound all offended, and then when you say, yes, I want you gone, they're like, oh, later, be careful, man, take care out there. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I said we needed to ditch our friends anyway, and the reason for that is because we need to hook up with Tank later. Tank has a trait called Martial Artist, which means he can teach us new moves, but he can only teach us new moves if we make him leave our party, and then call him again later. The game isn't great at communicating that. It expects you to figure out way too many things for yourself. Anyway, we have Brad and we have our goal. We want to escort him to the gas station. Now, escort missions in this game can be a little bitchy. Not because the AI is stupid, but because there are just so many people up against you at once. And unlike normal fights, which you can just retry whenever you want, if you fail a job that you get from Melvin, you have to go all the way back and re-accept the job. This is especially frustrating for this first mission, because in Downtown Street there are a bunch of thugs waiting to ambush Brad. And protecting him from all of them is, well, it's fucking hard. But we can exploit their terrible line of sight to scoot past them without triggering the cutscene, or making them attack Brad. Again, it's cheesy, but it works, so what do you want from me?
What?
Now that we've escorted Brad to the gas station, we just have to do some really easy one-on-one fights against a bunch of weak enemies. It's really no problem. I think I make it harder on myself than I need to by trying to use a weapon for no reason. But as you're seeing here, they're very easy to cheese with Raven's quick 4-hit combo. Also, I said a bunch of enemies, but it's just these two guys. It's just Robin and Warren, so no, it's not a bunch. It's almost impossible to lose against these guys unless you do something really, really stupid, because all I'm doing is mashing square, basically, and picking them up when they get knocked over. But hey, hitting people in this game is fun. It's not too deep, but it's fun. Jesus Christ, man, are you even trying? Maybe Warren just wants us to beat the shit out of him, because it didn't seem like he was trying very hard. Also, I was wrong, I didn't use a weapon, I'm not sure why I thought I did. Now that the mission's over, we get some experience and $1,500, which is a really decent amount for how easy this mission is, assuming you don't get stopped by that group fight we avoided. Brad also gives us a sub-item called drugs, and this item may seem entirely useless because you can't use it manually from the menu, but there is one specific chapter where one specific guy asks for drugs, and that's when you use it. I'm not sure how you're supposed to know that, but this game's just like that. Anyway, now that that's done and we're safe back at the hole, we're gonna go meet up with Tank so he can teach us that new move that I keep talking about. In order to meet up with Tank, we just need to call him and meet him where he wants us to meet him, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip to when we go and talk to him.
Yo! Yo! Yo!
So Tank here is the only place where we can learn the Beatdown Combo, which is the most important combo to teach Raven. It's a 5-hit combo that knocks someone in the air and then shoots them across the screen, and it comes out very fast.
Hell yeah!
Now that we learned our move and we have Tank with us, we're going to go meet up with another one of our buddies, and then we're going to go take on Fatima's Saints, finally.
Yo! Yo!
So now we have Matt and Tank with us, and we're going to go head to the station zone and, well, beat the shit out of Fatima's Saints. Now, the game asks us to interrogate Fatima's Saints, but instead we can just beat them up and recruit them, and it will accomplish the same goal. We need to beat up 5 of Fatima's Saints and then talk with the 6th, and the 6th will lead us to Fatima, who is the boss of this chapter. We're going to go ahead and recruit as many of Fatima's Saints as possible. Not just because I like collecting them, but because it gets our score up, which is very important. This isn't the only time that the game will ask us to beat up someone's underlings in order to get information, but this is the only time where it's so easy to find them. They're all just kind of hanging out in the station zone. They're almost impossible to miss. Like, seriously, they're basically just inhabiting the place like cockroaches. They're not there in Chapter 1, and they're not there in Chapter 3 for obvious reasons, but in Chapter 2, they're just all over this fucking place. As soon as this place loads. There we go. Gonna go ahead and beat up Billy first, because I like Billy's face. Billy's up here on, whatever the fuck this thing is. Unlike many of the other named NPCs, some of Fatima's Saints will actually stop us and try to initiate a fight with us. Most named NPCs are passive, but some of them are actively aggressive and want to take us down as soon as they see us. Billy didn't stand a chance. Billy didn't stand a damn chance. Billy, if you could hold Billy? Now you're making this way harder on yourself than you need to.
I know you, boss. Got that? Okay. I'll do what you say.
So what you saw just there, well, what you saw just there is, I guess, their attempt at a dynamic recruiting system where you can recruit enemies using weapons and you have a higher chance of them not resisting. Sometimes it just looks really stupid though, like when we put that piece of wood in Billy's face. Yeah. This is Grace, and Grace is particularly memorable to me because she has a flying kick that fucking hurts. And if she chooses to use it on you, you won't see it coming, and you'll lose so much of your health, and it fucking sucks. So let's try our best to let her not use that, because it's really bad. Oh, no, she just did it, and now we're fucked. If we didn't bother to level up our stamina, that flying kick she did could have been a one-hit kill, and like I said, it comes out of fucking nowhere. Really hard to see that coming. Unfortunately, the enemy AI almost always sees it coming because the enemy AI reads button inputs, and sometimes it just pretends it doesn't. That's how the difficulty in this game works.
That's what you wanted, right?
I should mention that when you beat someone down, you'll also beat them down with any weapon you have in your inventory, but that's less important. But yes, now that we've recruited Grace and she's on our party, we can use her flying kick whenever we want. It's just not as useful as you'd think. Because unlike us, the AI knows how to block. Because you might have noticed I don't really use the block button. That's just something I tend to not do unless it's absolutely necessary in games like this. Oh, cool. We got the trip state. Yeah, bad trip. Bad trips make everything fucking slower. And you could see this as either a good thing or a bad thing. My brother personally sees it as a good thing because he thinks it makes the game easier. I personally think it makes the game a lot harder. But either way, we have a bad trip now, and you get bad trips from drinking unknown liquids that heal you. Our combo still worked out okay. We just can't do any precise button inputs while we're in our bad trip state because the timing's all gorked up. But Ramon's a pussy, so we managed to beat the shit out of him even while we're drunk as shite. For some reason, when you have a bad trip, all of the animations play slower, and it looks really, really weird. I'm sure this was an artistic choice,
Okay.
but it's just kind of funny. Hey, Ramon, whatever your name is, your leg's clipping through the road a little bit, buddy. Might want to move that. So Fatima Saints consists of quite the colorful cast of characters, but only one of them is actually challenging for me, and that would be Hawk. Hawk has this uncanny ability to not get fucked up by our 5-hit combo, and he also has chicken with him, which he can use to heal himself, so let's skip to the fight against Hawk.
What?
So I'm not sure if Hawk here is meant to be so much harder than the rest of Fatima Saints, but he's of particular difficulty to me. Our sliding kick, he seems to block that very frequently, and he seems to block our 5-hit punch just as frequently, and those are our primary moves at this point. He can also easily interrupt our 5-hit punch combo, and he ends a lot of his combos in a leg sweep. So it's just not a good time. It's just not a good time.
Damn, not bad.
But like I said, if we lose as Raven, we have 2 backup lives. One of our backup lives is Ramon, that guy we just recruited. Or Raymond? Whatever the fuck his name is. Thankfully, Raven did most of the dirty work, so we just need to... Thankfully, Raven did most of the dirty work, so we just need to grab him. Now, if we did lose as Raven, Ramon, and Falcon, then we could still retry the fight against Hawk.
All right.
But that would make us lose charisma. Our charisma goes down whenever we lose a fight. And we need our charisma meter full in order to get the true ending, just like the other 2 meters. Alright, now that we fought down here on the station zone floor a few times, let's go up to the platform and start fights next to the actual trains. I'm sure nothing could go wrong with that. So up here on the platform, in addition to there being more of Fatima Saints, there's this guy, Lai, who buys and sells weapons. We're never going to buy any weapons from him, but we will sell some. You may remember that one of our meters is cash flow and items. It's very hard to make that meter go down. By selling items, we increase our cash flow, so that doesn't make it go down. And by buying items, we increase our items, so that doesn't make the meter go down either. Basically, you just have to buy and sell a lot of shit to get that meter up, and complete a lot of jobs to get cash, so it's pretty self-explanatory, easily the easiest meter to deal with. Now we have to actually step onto the platform to go meet one of Fatima's Saints, and as long as we stay on the side of the platform, we'll be fine, but the train can and will run us over. Jonesy tells us that Fatima wants to see us at the basketball court, and that's our cue to go fight the boss, but instead we're going to fight Jonesy. Now, Jonesy has the distinction of having a fuck ton of health, and not a lot else. That's pretty much all he's got. He put all of his stats into health. It's very dangerous to be fighting right here, because at any point we could get run over. There's really no way to see it coming. It's also very possible to throw Jonesy over the railing, if we feel like it, but that will not enable us to recruit him, so that's a bad idea, even if it feels satisfying. Alright, now that we've recruited Jonesy, and we've heard that Fatima is waiting for us at the basketball court, we're gonna go fight Fatima. I'm going to recruit a few more of Fatima's Saints first, but I'm going to cut that out, because that's not something you need to see. We've already seen the interesting fights this group has to offer, so we're gonna skip to when we head to the basketball court. Which, luckily enough, is just back down there in the station zone. Okay, so we're just about ready to fight Fatima, but first we need to heal ourselves, which can be done from the inventory menu or during battle if we equip a healing item. Like this. Fatima's actually pretty tough for a first boss battle. I guess Wendell's technically the first boss battle.
Hey!
So before we can actually fight Fatima, we have a scripted boss fight. There actually aren't a lot of scripted boss fights in this game, let alone one with named characters, but Basilio and Angelica here are actually going to be slightly important to the story. Very slightly. Then again, we never see the cartel again after this chapter, so I guess they wanted to go out with a bang. I keep hearing someone using an item in the background, and it has to be one of our guys, and I wish they would stop doing that, because it's really not ideal to waste items on a group fight, unless you absolutely have to. Alright, come on, Angelica, stop putting up so much of a fight.
Basilio! Angelica! Stay back! This one's mine. How dare you interfere in the cartel's business? Do you have any idea how bad that whole affair made me look? I'll slice you to ribbons for what you've done.
So as I was saying, Fatima's actually a fairly formidable boss for this early in the game, and 100% of that has to do with her sword, all 100%. Her sword actually enables her to use quite a few moves that you can't use otherwise, and it's a real pain to deal with, especially considering she has 2 of them. In particular, with her sword, she's capable of a really nasty 1-2 hit combo, that one she just used right there. She's very fond of that one, and it can fuck you up real good. Raven, on the other hand, is not nearly as good with a sword. Against Fatima, it only takes 1 or 2 good hits to go down. Come on, Raven, get up. I've actually lost to Fatima more times than a few of the end-game bosses, simply because of that fucking sword. And the fact that she knows how to use it. If you don't have a character that knows how to use the sword, it's not nearly as good. Alright, Jonesy, we're counting on you. You gotta pick this up where Raven left off. And where Raven left off was with Fatima having most of her health still. So you got a lot of work cut out for you, basically. Thankfully, Jonesy, as was established, has a lot of fucking health. So we can take quite a few more sword strikes than Raven. He has a lot of heavy hitting moves as well, especially that one he stole from Heihachi. But most importantly, Fatima's swords are gone now. She has neither of her swords, which makes her significantly easier to get rid of. Without her sword, she loses her range advantage, which means grappling her is a much easier option now.
Damn, not bad.
Oh, shit. You're Zanetti's assassin, Ignacy!
Zanetti does not fear you. But in the off chance that you would ally yourself with the traitor, things could get out of hand. Who's there?
Oh my god.